as ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good morning, CoreTV News on the hour. I'm Tolu Ojeomi. Nigeria has recorded a fresh case of the deadly Ebola virus. Health Minister Ibuchichukwu disclosed that one of the doctors that treated the late Liberian-American Patrick Sowore in Lagos had contracted the disease. He spoke on the sidelines of the inauguration of an Ebola treatment and research team.
As at today, we have the first of those health personnel who have now become Ebola positive and is being treated as such. So if we are keeping records, this is now the second case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. So this new case is one of the doctors who attended to the patient who imported Ebola virus disease into Nigeria. As I speak, also 3 others who participated in that treatment who are currently symptomatic have had their samples taken, and hopefully by the end of today we should have the result of their own test. So 2 cases so far. One dead, one is alive and is being managed as a case of Ebola virus disease.
In a confirmation of the federal government's position, the Lagos State government has revealed that a female medical doctor who had contact with the Liberian victim of Ebola that recently died in Nigeria has tested positive to the deadly virus. The State Commissioner for Health, Jude Idris, disclosed this at a media briefing on the Ebola update. He says the doctor is one of the 8 persons in the contract and contact tracking of the state government. Idris hinted that government is currently on a follow-up to ascertain the status of the family members of the affected person.
The occurrences of secondary cases was expected given the nature of contact these persons had with the patient from Liberia. This was because they were unaware of this status until the management of the hospital reported their suspicions to the state government. The investigation team is in communication with family members and other contacts of new suspect cases to counsel them and monitor their health status. Given the complexity of the outbreak in the West African sub-region and the current situation in Lagos, the ministry is taking all precautions to contain the spread of this disease.
Meanwhile, the federal government has set up a team to carry out research on the treatment and cure for the Ebola virus. The team is also to take a second look at the uncompleted work of former INEC chairman Morris on the possibility of using bitter cola to treat the virus. Until the treatment research team completes its job, the federal government says it would be wrong to assume that bitter cola can check Ebola virus.
It's now more than 1 week since Nigeria recorded its first case of Ebola virus. And now that a second case is known, the authorities are taking a bold step to devise local treatment for a virus that has a mortality rate of between 60 and 90%. But first, the government has deemed it fit to issue a note of caution on bitter cola as a treatment for Ebola virus.
That as I speak to you, there is no scientific evidence that the use of bitter cola would either prevent or cure Ebola viral disease.
On the research team, which also has Professor Iwu as member, the health minister said its work will only be concluded if local treatment is found for the virus.
We are setting up this treatment research group for Ebola virus disease, TRG for EVD, in short. And the terms of reference of this treatment research group will be: 1, to carry out research into the treatment of Ebola virus disease. 2, to receive and verify claims relating to the treatment of disease, including the uncompleted work that we are told was carried out in 1999 in the United States of America by Professor Maurice Iwu and his team, to see whether they could get something that would be effective against Ebola virus disease.
One of the co-chairmen of the treatment research team says the group will monitor the development of the virus with a view to achieving results.
I want to assure you that we put all arsenals of our scientists to combat this, and we shall be giving you the report periodically as mentioned by the Honorable Minister.
And as the research team goes ahead with its job, Nigeria's health authorities have opened a 24-hour emergency service at all states level. They have also set up a toll-free telephone line as well as ramp up their social media presence with a dedicated website, www.ebolaalert.org, and 2 Twitter handles.
Now we go to Nasarawa State, where the Governor Tanko Amakura appeared before the 7-member panel investigating impeachable charges against him. But his accusers failed to show up. The governor, who was accompanied by his lawyers, maintained that he was prepared to defend himself, even though he was not served with any impeachment notice. The panel gave the state lawmakers till Tuesday to turn up or risk losing their case against the governor. The report.
Governor Tanko Almakura breezed into the venue of the panel sitting, looking anything but embattled. He was accompanied by aides and soon took his seat beside his legal team. The stage was set for the commencement of proceedings, but members of the State House of Assembly were absent. The lawmakers also didn't have lawyers representing them. But this did not stop the process as Governor Almakura opened his defense before his counsel took over.
I'm appearing here today in response to the hearing notice signed on me by this honorable panel. And my appearance is for the purposes of defending myself against the allegations made against me by the State House of Assembly, and also to clear my name against these spurious and unfounded allegations made of me. I would like to say that I intend to challenge this violation of the Constitution at an appropriate forum, not this, and at an appropriate time.
With all sense of responsibility, I submit that the stage at which we have come is one in which I can confidently apply that the complaint in the impeachment notice be dismissed for want of prosecution.
After listening to both men, panel chairman noted that it was important that the lawmakers turned up to prove their allegations. He also outlined available options if they failed to show up.
Where the House of Assembly fails or neglects to appear and lead evidence in proof of the allegations, the panel, upon proof of service, may dismiss the allegations. Where the governor fails or neglects to appear to defend the allegations against him, and if the panel is satisfied that he has been duly served, either personally or by substituted means, as the panel may have ordered, the panel will proceed to consider the evidence adduced by the House of Assembly and make the appropriate findings.
The Nasarawa State House of Assembly have not appeared, in spite of the fact that they have been served with processes, and there is bailiff's affidavit of service before the panel. It is also true that under paragraph 7C of the regulations guiding their proceedings, they have a right to dismiss it. But I am in full agreement with them that the best thing to do in this circumstance is to give them a second chance. And we're prepared to come back tomorrow. We hope they will be here. We will very, very happily take them on their allegations, one after the other, if they have the courage to come to discuss. Because we know that it would be a very pleasurable experience to cross-examine some of them.
It is, however, not certain that the legislators will make themselves available when the panel reconvenes on Tuesday. This is because they are not comfortable with the composition of the panel, but from all indications, there is little they could do about it.
The police team that investigated the recent gun and bomb attack on former head of state Muhammadu Buhari has absolved the federal government of blame. Acting Inspector General of Police Suleiman Abba disclosed this to newsmen before his maiden interaction with senior police officers in Abuja. He says the investigators arrived at the conclusion after visiting the bomb scene as well as meeting the former head of state.
So far, we have an interim finding, a team of dedicated detectives constituted by the immediate past IGP. It was a very immediate response. Went to Kaduna, conducted a very diligent investigation. A team that was made up not only of general duty detectives, but it also included forensic experts, visited the scene, visited some of the victims in the hospital, including those in the mortuary, conducted interviews with victims and witnesses, including the highly respected General Muhammadu Buhari, including those that were with him when the incident happened, and did a lot of other things that maybe we need not mention all of them here. So far, they have come out with a finding, and this finding is that the federal government, from the findings, is not involved. So far, the findings do not indicate that the federal government was involved in either of the two incidents.
That's all. Thanks for watching. I'm Tolu Ojewumi. Good morning. Up next, Core Digest.